Oh, oh, oh. The more I listen, Victor V is the more I want them play. Yeah. Don't wanna go back to what I listened before. Oh no, ho, ho.
Young, gifted and black. Oh, what a lovely, precious dream. To be young, gifted and black. Open your heart to what I mean. In the whole world, you know, there's a million boys and girls who are young, gifted and black. And that's a fact. Young, gifted and black. Must begin to tell our young. There's a world waiting for you. Since the quest has just begun. When you feel really low, yeah, there's a great truth you should know. When you're young, gifted and black, your soul's intact. Young, gifted and black.
Best internet radio station around. iLive Radio, the new social network. Social network. Social
What a
network.
lovely, precious dream. To be young, gifted and black. Open your heart to what I mean. In the whole world, you know, there's a million boys and girls who are young, gifted and black. And that's a fact. Young, gifted and black. Must begin to tell our young. There's a world waiting for you. Since the quest has just begun. When you feel really low, yeah, there's a great truth you should know. When you're young, gifted and black, your soul's intact. Young, gifted and black. How I long to know the truth. There are times when I look back and I am haunted by my youth. Oh, but my joy of today is that we can all be proud to say, to be young, gifted and black is where it's at. Young, gifted and black, must begin to tell our young. There's a world waiting for you. Since the quest has just begun. Oh, when you feel really low, yeah, there's a great truth you should know. When you're young, gifted and black, your soul's intact.
The internet's number one on the
Young,
world
gifted and black.
wide web. iLive Radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive
One
Radio.
day we need for a day. Somehow I've always cherished that day. Look at it now, we met by mere chance. If it's alright, then let's start a romance. It's alright with me, so let's go. If it's true love, then our hearts will
the gunshot being forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
I knew one day we meet for a day. Somehow I've always cherished that day. Look at it now, we met by any chance. If it's alright, then let's start a romance. It's alright with me, so let's go. If it's true love, then our hearts will know. Let's take a stroll, we walk hand in hand. Reason together, then we understand. Really together we belong. Then in a moment our love will be strong.
Check. Yes.
Really together we belong.
Everything sounding good. So far, so good. It's a Friday. It's the second day of October 2020. Welcome along to iLive Radio UK. Victor V on the premises with some Reggae Motives. 13 minutes after 7 p.m. We are ready to roll. Like really ready to roll. But hey, we're not rolling solo this evening. Bob and Andy getting us underway. Young, gifted, and black. History Month, October 2020. What a way to get proceedings underway. What a way. Always be together. So, ladies and gents, we've got someone inside the studio today who, when you talk about UK reggae roots, steppers, dancehall, lovers rock foundation, pioneer, veteran, originator, all those words, you have to mention people like this man. The original toasting veteran from London, UK, gonna share some time with us this evening up inside Reggae Motives. Big up Papa CHARGAN and welcome. Do you wanna test out your microphone?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And while you're testing it, teach me how to test out a microphone. Yeah? Teach me.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. iLive Radio once again.
Excellent stuff. Before we go any further, big up the Now Chat ladies, Kaz, also Janelle, and their special guest this Friday. Much respects. Excellent stuff as per usual, ladies. Keep up the great works. Now Chat on iLive Radio. Fridays, the fun kicks off from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. CHARGAN, you are a veteran foundation. We can start at so many places, but I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna start from your father, that champion of a man that used to hold parties back in 1962. So you've got some length of my career and I need to learn some things. Is this true? From 1962, sir?
Well, I was born in Nottingham. Big up iLive Radio and all the staff and all the people working hard. And Victor V, our gracious DJ, playing wonderful tunes as usual. I was born in Nottingham, up in the countryside. My father was a coal miner. He was digging coal deep down. He used to work 14 hours a day. And obviously, as a young Caribbean man who came to Great Britain, you know, after they worked in their back home, they used to have their party at weekends. You know, used to go out, let their hair down,
Why not?
Romance, reminisce, or under the
Yes.
sun, the moon, and the stars.
Absolutely.
So when they was called to come to England, Great Britain and United Kingdom, they immediately thought then, okay, we're going to work hard, we're going to build a family, we're going to party, we're going to be comfortable with the people inside of the country, because it is the mother country. So
Was they obviously they were partying back home and brought that with them?
yeah, that was natural.
Right.
That partying is natural thing, because from Africa we have our rituals. Mm-hmm. They call it rituals, but it's a gathering where we play music, song, dance, and pass down the culture to the next generation. So we was always together,
Understand?
So on our parents coming to, those of you who was born here, coming to United Kingdom, they needed to let out the energy at the end of the week. You know what I mean? You work all day, 6 days a week, maybe 5
Right.
days a week.
Especially in those days, the
Yeah.
weather wasn't the best. Very cloudy and grey and
Yeah.
culture shock. Yeah.
Yeah, now, my father was a coal miner. My mother used to work
Wow.
in the army barracks.
Okay.
So when the officers finished eating, she'd clear up the dishes and clean up the place, And I came down to London when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
My father acquired the premises off of a Jewish man, a white Jewish man, because in those days you couldn't really get no properties.
What year are we speaking?
Well, I came to London 60, I was born 58, 59, 60, 61. Yeah, around 61, 3 years old I was.
Wow.
When we came to London.
Is this when he was trying to acquire the property?
Yeah, because everyone's ambition from the Caribbean was to get a job, find somewhere to live, because most people who came over, they spent their first days with someone who they were sent to.
Right. Okay.
Like once they come to the country, they'd have a piece of paper with Victor V, 29 Stanhope Gardens.
That's where you have to go.
And that's where you go. That's where you go direct. So I want to go to Finsbury Park, Stanhope Gardens. You get directed there, and then you meet whoever it is there.
Okay, so that was a meeting spot.
Yeah, that was someone's house who would rent you a room, or there'd be family.
Right.
But you was, directed to go there. So if you come from a certain district, they would send you to that place there in particular, because it's their friends or relatives or someone they know.
Okay, so getting back to how your dad, did he acquire the property?
Well, he bought, he did buy the house in Wood Green and number 99 Pellet Grove, just off White Hart Lane.
Okay.
At the top end of White Hart Lane, Wood Green,
yes.
there.
Okay.
Opposite the little park,
Yes.
yeah. And it wasn't wonderful.
Something.
Yeah. But it was a big 4-story house and a basement downstairs.
Okay.
And a big back garden, because there was 7 of us. My mother had 5, and my father had 2. The young one, Jack Reuben, and then the older brother, Winston.
Right.
Who was a drummer, yeah.
So you actually are related to Jack Rubin?
Yeah, well, Jack Reuben's mother stayed inside of the house, and that's where Jack was actually born, inside of the family house, and we were just one big family.
Nice one.
7 of us, yeah.
Great.
Mother and father, and my father rented out the rooms, and he'd get you a job if you wanted to work. He'd bring you to one of the factories, up in Enfield, where they was doing menial work, labor work.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, their qualifications, what they came with, was ignored.
Wow.
So if you came over here with your qualification, they say, no, that doesn't work here, sir.
Okay.
Could you get hold of the broom?
Okay.
And could you sweep the floor? And could you make us a cup of tea? And a lot of people used to say, well, what about, I learned a trade. I know how to do these. Yes, but we can't let you do that, because the other workers would not tolerate a new person coming in to use.
Was these non-black people? Is that what?
Yeah, because I mean, England is a country
Okay.
of European people.
Okay. Just
And-
say it how it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
If it was that.
yeah.
It was that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a country of European people, and they was working at their jobs, and obviously, they didn't want their jobs taken away by people.
Okay.
So there was a silent thing that, you know, when you come and work here, you start right at the bottom. That means that you sweep, you clean, you wash, you cook, you run around, you do all these things. You know what I mean? And that was the situation then. So our parents, knowing that they had to defend their children. So, you know, they're full of pride, but they still say, listen, I know I'm a welder, I'm a carpenter, I'm a qualified at this and that, but under the circumstances, I will take up a broom or do some laboring or do something so that I can feed my family.
Exactly. Survival.
Yeah, it was all about feeding the family and having a roof over their head.
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's the situation they found themselves in. So they got on with it. They just worked.
Right.
They done whatever job come. I mean, the women spent most of their time inside of the hospitals, cleaning up the place, looking after elders and the youngsters.
It sounds like this was the point, or this was just automatically that you had to build your own community then at this time, so to speak, i.e. the parties, the dances. It seems like we were shoved into music, or it was just a way, or a better way.
Well, we never had no choice, cause
You were speaking about your father
yeah,
and the basement.
yeah.
I've often heard about stories with people and their fathers, their family started to
Yeah.
keep shebeens, parties, to get rid of that side of what they were going through,
Yeah.
the work and that. So
Yeah.
you've created your own environment to earn and flourish in. Was that right? Is that what your dad done?
Yeah, well, it's a social gathering because apparently, when the young West Indians came to this country, the mass public wasn't told that they was invited here, and they wasn't really fully welcomed the way they thought they would be. They say we're coming to the mother country. This
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
We're in. But then they started to get, you know, like they're saying, well, they're not welcoming us here. It's like we come here under duress or stress or pressure to you know, and we encountered a lot of racism, right? Both upfront racism and silent racism.
Okay.
And so it was very difficult. But our parents, they knuckled down and went to work. One thing, they were hardworking people. You know, they decided to do whatever it was, they'd do it.
And
To
just get on
survive.
with it and to survive, yeah.
Yeah, because
Food
I mean,
on the table, etc.
apart from having to defend people in the United Kingdom, England, they had to defend people back home.
Okay.
You know, when a telegraph come, you know, says somebody die, so you'd have to send money, you'd have to prepare to go, you know. So they was getting it from two sides. You understand me? And there was a lot of pressure.
Definitely.
Now, most of the nightclubs and the pubs and the bars, they would not welcome you in. The security guards would tell you, look, we can't let you in because the guys inside there, they're heavily intoxicated and they will not appreciate you being inside there.
Wow.
So the young black man and women from you know, the diaspora, be it Africa, Caribbean or wherever,
Yeah.
they never had nowhere to go. That's not of their own choice.
They just wasn't
wanted-
welcomed anywhere.
No.
They weren't allowed to go out and enjoy themselves.
They wanted to come and mingle and be part of the Commonwealth
Okay.
because that's in their head.
So they had no problem with mixing.
No, because I mean, back home, there was all kinds of people coming to their countries.
Right.
Because those places were tourist spots.
Okay.
St. Lucia, Barbados,
Yes.
Jamaica, St. Kitts. You understand
So they
me?
used
St.
to
Vincent's,
interacting with different cultures.
Dominica,
Right.
IT, all these places have always been welcoming to people to come on holiday and have a good time and go back home. So they never really saw it being a problem
Okay.
that we're coming to the country now where
We see the tourists, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go over there and we'll see them, yeah.
feel welcome,
But it just never worked out like that.
it didn't work out like that at all. You know what I mean? And it's a bit disheartening to think that all your growing up ages you want to come to England, the mother country.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
This money's on the ground to pick
Yes.
up. This is going on. Everything is great and fantastic there. You know what I mean? But they faced a lot of tribulation and trials along the road.
Right.
But our elders were very strong.
Good.
You know, they're very, very strong to live. You know, you're coming from the sunshine,
Yeah.
right? An outdoor life to come and be locked up inside of a house. The weather not being that great, and the people not really accepting you.
It's a lot.
You know, people used to look at you and touch your skin and see if it could rub off.
This
You
is
know?
all over England at this time. You're
Yeah,
speaking
because
about, yeah.
they only saw black people in whatever capacity they felt to show people.
Right.
They didn't really get close to them. They didn't know them. You understand me? So this thing's happening in England. That the elders now, they had to conform to the situation of England. They looked at it and they said, okay, this is what's going on. We're not wanted, we're not accepted, blah, blah, blah. We're under a lot of pressure, we're da-da-da-da-da. The best thing to do is work, build a social gathering, which is the house now comes into play. Because it's the house where the social gathering takes place.
Okay.
There's nowhere else. You
Right,
can't be
right.
anywhere else and gather.
Is this where the name, all right, not house party, Shubbies, is this where it came in from? Is that where it
Shubbies and
originated
blues
from,
dances.
that era?
Yeah, shubbies,
Okay.
blues dances.
Okay.
You know, where you have one where you pay and come in and buy your drinks, and you have another one where you don't pay and you can buy your drinks and blah, blah, blah.
Apparently your dad was ramming up dances before sound systems came about.
Yeah, well, the era when my father was,
The great gramophone era.
yeah.
Tell us about that.
We had it was not Blue Spot, before Blue Spot.
Okay.
It was a gram that encased one Celestian speaker, one Ferguson radio, and one Garrard turntable that held about 20 records.
Wow.
And they'd drop one by one.
Okay.
So my father would call us and say, father would say, hey, Tony, come in here, because he'd be with his guests, you understand me? So
Okay.
you're the little boy in the house
Yeah,
now.
all right, yeah.
Tony, come here, load up the gram. So you have to put the 20 records in the thing.
So you was doing that?
Yeah.
At what age was that?
Um,
What age can you remember? As young as?
well, I've been sensible all my life, so, you know, it was when I was sensible, when I had sense.
I think you still have.
Yeah, so I don't know, because all of us had
Before
the
your
turn.
teens, obviously, definitely before.
Yeah,
So listen,
when we was young.
oh, you've been selecting for a long time.
Yeah, because that's what we done. All the boys
Yeah.
would be doing that.
So you lining up the 20 songs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we put them in their place, and those were 78s before the 45. You know,
Okay, right.
and you know, when you're young, they call you into the room. All the big people in your novelty, you know, your
Yeah.
dad introduced you. This is Tony,
All right.
the little bad one. And you know, before you can turn and go out, he gives you a little job to do. He said, all right, then you put the records on, and you
Yeah.
know, you can talk to the people for a little while,
All
and
right, cool.
have a little smile and look around the front
Listen, that
room.
sounds fun.
You can look around the front room because most of the front rooms are locked. Huh?
That's listen. That's a very big thing. The West Indian households, you know, Afro-Caribbean house, always got that room that you can't go in.
Yeah, because that's
So
what special
the-
people.
When the
come.
people, right? So then, when they came, they opened up the room to you.
Yeah.
That was your job in the room.
Yeah.
Listen, this is great.
And my brother Winston used to do it before me.
All right, cool.
And David after me, he done it. You know, you will get a little
Yeah.
turn to do that kind
Yeah.
of thing there. Yeah.
So basically, listen, by your school days, I actually want to know when Well, you've told me a bit about your music journey. When did you personally decide to take this up even more? It must have been very young. You said, look, I'm going to be in music. You first picked up the mic and started to rhyme or select or DJ or had those thoughts to be in the music. When was that? When did that happen?
Well,
Was
it's
it
like
school, just before school?
Well, what happened is that the music was inside of us because every day it was just music in the house.
Of course.
So that was part of our everyday thing. We go to school and we want to rush back home to play the tunes and da 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 da.
Wow.
So we've always, even if you didn't like it, it was in you.
He was in you, yes.
It was in you to be a part of it. Now, the music thing is such as that when you go to a stage show and you see like a band on stage, say there's 5 of us go to a stage show, each of one of us will look up there and we'll see the guitar, the drums, the bass man, and we'll all pick what we want to be.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd all say, boy, I want to be the drummer. My brethren will say, oh, I want to be the bass man. I want to be... So it's what you see when you're young.
Definitely.
That influences you. So we see the people dancing, we hear the music playing. They're playing cards, they're playing dominoes, they're playing ludi, they're throwing bone dice. And, you know, they're having a good time. And so we say, yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to entertain people.
What instrument did you look at? Was it instrument or?
Well, we had a piano inside of our house.
That was your preference?
Well, that was in the passage. So when we would tinker around.
So you played on it the most?
Well, no, because it was there. We didn't really gravitate to playing it. It was just there. Now and again we go on there and tinker around with it. But at school they teach you to play the recorder and other instruments. But our thing was to deal with recorded music.
Right. Who was inspiring you that time, artist-wise?
Artist-wise, well, we was listening to like stuff from Fats Domino and those American artists. Well, we was mainly listening to those.
Okay.
Our mothers would be listening to Jim Reeves, Engelbert Humperdinck, and a few others.
Any Tim Shandell in there?
I think it was a little bit before Tim Shandell's time.
Cool.
Right, and they'll be listening to those kind of songs. Now, so we've been growing up into the blues music, and going into the rock music, the rock and roll music.
Okay.
You understand?
Very vast musical knowledge and background, like using. Listening to a lot of different sounds.
The calypso.
At that time, okay.
The calypso coming from the islands. We was engrossed in that music also.
But can I say, by the 70s, early 70s, you're a mic man now. Give you any version. You can have pen to paper lyrics, head top lyrics. You could DJ from night till morning, freestyle. Unlike maybe nowadays, who DJs from night till morning on the mic? You know, but that was maybe normal to you back in the days. I've heard that you was collecting dub plates at the airport, going to sound system events straight after, boat cruises. What else was there? I'm not going to give you too much because I do want you to answer certain questions, especially this part where you had, there was dances you was keeping, but everyone had a role, from the dressmakers through the partner money, you had the insurance man involved, caterers. This is in the early part of the Windrush generation, so to speak, but it sounds very good. Sounds like a lot of business, like it was actually a business back then. You weren't just having parties or keeping dances. This fed like a community who was under pressure at the time from its residents, you know. It's like you done well making your own community and involving the music in it.
Well,
do you remember those times?
Yeah, basically what it is that because we was segregated, you could say.
But I don't want you to play down what you done. Don't be modest about it. That's really inspiring, you know.
We was by ourselves, so we had to make do with each other and bring in the culture from back home where everyone looked after everyone.
Okay.
You understand me? It was the same thing that developed over here. You know, people looked after each other, made sure they was okay. If you was sick, someone would send some food for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you needed someone to help you up until you get stronger. It was all done like that. Then the gathering place was actually the house.
Right.
That's where you met everyone.
Yeah.
You understand me? And you could work things out. Because at that time, you used to get your wages. You know, you used to get your wages in your wage packet every Friday or Thursday.
Okay.
So there'd be plenty of money. Everyone would have money.
Yeah.
To do things together, you know, joint enterprises, making food, making clothes, amongst other things, building sound systems.
Okay.
You know.
Obviously, you done the box boy duties, no doubts.
Yeah, well,
yourself.
lifting up the equipment was a great joy because you know that the end result of lifting up this equipment is that you're going to see all your friends.
Yeah.
You're going to be enjoying yourself, and you're going to be in your element.
This time you're still just CHARGAN or Tony, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're seeing the sound van come in, yeah? Because I done that. You don't mind mucking in and getting involved because like you said, the end result is fireworks, it's musical fireworks. So you went through that.
Yeah. I mean, the sound system, the first sound system, I mean, all of us went to weddings, christenings, birthdays,
that's right,
and we all met each other along the way when we was younger.
Yeah.
But then I was taken to Sir D's sound system in Tottenham.
What year was this?
I was 16 years old at that time.
Right.
I just finished my school, and a friend of mine, Robert Fox, sadly passed away now.
Yeah, R.I.P. to
He
Fox.
brought me to Sir D's sound.
Wow.
Right? And he left me there.
So we're talking about early 80s?
Yeah.
Maybe?
No, 70s.
70s?
Yeah, 70s, right? And he left me at Sir D's sound in Phillip Lane inside of a dance. So, I sat down and I was sleeping on the stairs, and I woke up and everyone had gone. Only the sound system was left there. So Cyril, known as the Admiral, who was playing Sir D's sound at that time.
Okay, they was the big sound from Tottenham at that time, right there. Okay, all right.
Right, and he said to me, "Youth man, where you live?" I said, "I live at Wood Green."
Yeah.
He said, "All right, lift up $2 and we will drop you home."
Wow.
So that's what started me to lift the box for Sir D's.
Okay.
Cyril, Admiral is known as. So I lift the boxes, and he dropped me to my house in the morning.
Nice.
And
became regular after gone.
Yeah, well, he said to me that next week we'll play down so and so and so and so and so and so. And I said, all right, then I'll come down there. So from then I started to lift up the sound boxes and get familiar with the boss Sir D's.
Did you ever start stringing up the sound after you got familiar with Sir D's himself? Was you learn how to string up the sound, or was it just?
I never actually. I could do it, but that wasn't my part.
Cool,
my part was bring the boxes in.
Me either. I don't know about the wiring. I can lift them up.
I watched it
I
a
can
lot
do
of
it with
times.
my Marga self. I can lift up some boxes.
Yeah.
But the wiring, I just like to watch them do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just still lifting the boxes.
Yeah. I didn't advance to wiring yet.
All right.
So I was just a box boy, so they call it. Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
So it was lovely. Lifting the boxes, the amplifiers.
Yes.
And then you get entrusted with the record box and the dub plate box and all these kind of things. So you're slowly gliding up the ladder.
Yeah, you're creeping before you.
Yeah. So what happened is that when Sir D's is playing now, in the morning time, the real ravers are coming in.
What time is this?
This is about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning after all the clubs are closed
Right.
and all the other places are shut down.
So the timetables party start at 10?
Yeah. Well,
12, 11, 12.
the dance would start around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
10 p.m., you
Right,
know.
carry on, go on.
String up the sound at 10 p.m. And people would come in, and then the crowd starts coming 2, 3 o'clock. And then the real ravers start coming 5, 6 o'clock because they're coming from other venues.
Okay.
Right, so they're highly intoxicated and fully charged.
To say the least.
They're fully charged in their spirits.
Right.
You understand me? Mm-hmm. And everyone's talking and everyone's chatting and it's lovely vibrations going on.
Nice.
So you're having a great fun with everyone. You know what I mean? And at some stage now, they heard me in the passage or somewhere imitating the great U-Roy, Prince Jasbo,
Wow.
I-Roy, and Count Machuki,
Okay.
all the great
Yes.
talkers
Yes.
from back in the day. I'd be in the passageway and the
Imitating
rhythm
them.
was playing. Yeah, I'll be imitating them.
Okay.
Right? I'll be imitating them and then adding on my own lyrics and my own little style on there
Right.
as well.
Okay.
So early in the morning now, they'd say to me, all right, Chargan, go up on the microphone now.
This is while you were still the box boy.
Yeah.
But you're in the passageway with some of the dances and you're imitating the greats.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
Because
your
I-
name. So it wasn't an MC name. Your name was Charging in the crew from before
Yeah.
you got the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Carry on.
Because
So
I was fully charged, so they gave me that name. You don't need to know no
Okay.
more. Right?
I'm learning.
Right,
So they go on, Charging. Get the mic. Right.
Yeah, so they push me on the microphone now, so I have to perform. And with what I learned from the elder MCs, toasters,
Yes.
and with what I vision in England and how we're living and thing, I just to put things together quite fast because
Wow.
we got a lot of words in our head.
Okay.
That we get that from the house. When we're in the house,
Yeah.
all the people who's coming from the West Indies, they talk.
Yes.
So you're picking up all words and all kind of things and picking up all kind of things.
But it's another thing to rhyme them all. So
Yeah, you put them in the storeroom and you work them out in your head and you say, hey.
is that how it goes? All
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right.
Right? So yeah. And obviously we're under influence of a little bit of drink
Yeah,
and
you are charged up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone around you is merry and happy, so you automatically open up yourself. You know what I mean? This is a joyful thing.
Definitely.
And you get encouragement from people and it makes you want to do it more and more and more.
Right.
Because at first I was very shy to do it in front
Okay.
of a lot of people.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, as we done it more and more,
It came like nothing to you. Okay.
Yeah. And I was very articulate at writing
Yeah.
and spelling and reading,
Yeah. Good.
so I could write my lyrics. I could write words, write things down, and then in the week I'd memorize them, and at the weekend I would perform them on the sound systems.
Wow.
So I spent most of my time inside of the house. A lot of people didn't see me
Okay.
because I was
you
always
was
writing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was writing.
And then when they did see you, it was at a dance.
When they see me behind the microphone,
Yes.
they wouldn't even see me. They wouldn't even know me. They just come and look and say, who that? And I say, I charge on that. 'Cause a lot of people who I meet now, so when we first come and dance, we never even talk to you or things like this.
Wow.
We only heard your voice.
Okay.
So I trained myself to make lyrics, and I stayed with Sir D's sound from I was 16, and I was selecting as well on the sound system. as
How
well
many
as-
years was you there for?
Well, from I was 16, I'm 62 now.
Right.
62, yeah, I'm 62 now, and that was my main sound that I stayed with.
That's the one in your heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the main one that I stayed with all the time. I
Yeah.
ventured out with a few other little sound systems along the line. But
Yeah.
Sir D's was the major.
Sir D's was the.
Yeah, that's where I got
They
my,
actually put. Yeah, you can tell just by what you've said so far, so good. They
Yeah.
actually put you out there.
Yeah,
Like, sounds like you're satisfied that you come from the Sir D's camp like that.
yeah.
Got a
Everything's
lot
a
of
stepping
schooling.
stone.
Yeah.
Everything's a stepping stone in life. A man might see you as a box boy,
Yeah.
but if you got ambition, you use that box boy move to make the next move.
Okay.
Now the next move is to get into the recording industry.
Before you go to the recording industry, I had a period where I would sneak out at night time. Most of us did that.
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about the 80s, middle of the 80s or so. Sneak out, wasn't allowed to go to big people's dances where you're operating, but a lot of my friends, they could. When I first heard your name, there was a big, massive clash happening one Friday in our Cola Street, and all I could hear was for a whole week or two was charging. Charging's gonna get him, charging. I was like, who's this man charging? I think at the time you was on, was it Unity Sound System? And you had left Unity So the dance revolved around CHARGAN's left the Unity sound system. He's on Fat Man. Fat Man and Unity are gonna play. So I heard about you from then. Good things. Heard about you from then. Good things. So after you left Sir D, so you joined Unity. How long after that did you have a little spell on Unity?
Well, the actual beginning of Unity is that Sir D's niece by the name of Annette was married to Robert, known as Ribs, who selected for Fat Man Sound. And he got to a stage where he left Fat Man Sound and he was at home doing nothing. So Annette suggested to him, why don't you go and see my uncle Sir D's? Now I was with Sir D still. Most of the other people had left. So we had a conference between Sir D's, Ribs and CHARGAN. And they decided, we decided, all right, then we're going to scrap some of this stuff what Sir D's has, and we're going to get new equipment, and we're going to call this sound Unity.
So that was the beginning of Unity.
Yeah, that's how it started. So Sir D's being the elder, we got him to go and get the equipment. And me and Ribs would be inside of the shed every day, building the sound system, getting the wood, the speakers, the amplifiers, everything that was necessary.
Just for those who don't know, we're talking about Unity, a sound that hailed from the north of London, that had DJs like CHARGAN, Specky, known as the Navigator nowadays, and of course the Ragga Twins, Flinty Badman, and of course Demon Rockers. That's the Unity sound system we're speaking about right now. Go ahead, Chargy.
Yeah, so Ribs brought his brother, Roy Rankin, Earroy is known as, who was a top class toaster. In the 70s, I used to learn from these people, like Denzel from Coxon, Pebbles from Jasopera Sound System. You know, I used to admire all these guys who used to speak on the microphone and
of course.
present their case. Yeah?
Great.
So we developed the sound system Unity, and we lined up some dances to play in my house. It was the first dance in my house at Lawrence Road, Tottenham.
Wow.
And we had a few other dances out after that. So that gave us the momentum to get a good following from Sir D's crowd and Ribs' crowd from Fat Man.
This is good.
And everyone said, oh, this is a great thing. They've come together. And everyone used to come and say, look, it's a good thing that these people have known each other for so long and they're united and they call the sound Unity. And they're playing. You understand me? That time Yabby U used to be the MC, Mudler.
Yes, Mudler.
Yeah.
You got Mudler?
Peter Pan was another MC toaster on the microphone at the time. And our sole purpose was to entertain the people.
Well, I think you lot done that good.
Yeah, it was entertainment.
Really good, yeah.
It was entertainment that we was dealing with, playing stuff they like and playing stuff that we knew that they would like also because we like it ourselves.
Yes.
So yeah, Unity, we amassed quite a bit of a following.
Definitely.
All over London and up in the countryside and what have you.
Definitely.
And you know, it was a nice time of my life working inside of the sound system because I done everything in that sound system. I built it with my hands. You know, we was the ones who made the speaker boxes. We done everything that we needed to do, which was really great. And in the daytime, we would go to the airport and collect music from Jamaica. And in the evening time, we would be inside of the house testing the equipment and preparing ourselves to entertain
proper preparation.
people.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, those times you'd have 3 or 4 dances taking place in the week, you know, because you know, sometimes it was 6, 7 times you played.
That's one thing about back in those days. It's like we had a lot of venues to play the music at, even though times were hard. But it seemed like there was a lot of places. Like I often hear that quote: "We play 7 times a week, 6 times a week." You know, like this is sound systems going into buildings. I mean, was that one of the little perks of back in the days? Like, you hardly get that for the last, 20 years?
Yeah, well, what it was actually, Victor, what it was is that our business is a big business. You know, the blues dance is a big business.
Correct.
You sell food, you sell drinks. When these other people saw the amount of bottles were left after the dances,
Right.
they realized that this thing is making a lot of money.
When did you notice that they were looking like that?
When they asked us to come into their club and play.
Okay.
Because before we couldn't go in there and play.
That's what I heard
But
too.
when they realized the amount of money that was generated in the black community, you know, if you wanted to fly out to your country, you'd keep a dance with the big sound. So you'd call Count Shelley, Soprano B, D Eunice, King Original, Jazz Opera,
Right.
Metrodome Beat.
Right. There was enough to go around.
Federal. You call the sound and say, listen, this week I want my dance, next week I need to go back home.
Okay.
So it was a very social enterprise for us.
Sounds
But
like
then
it.
what happened is the club people now, they brought us into their clubs. And then we lost the bar and we wasn't allowed to bring the sound systems in. They had their makeup thing in there. And we specialize in sound system quality.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, people come to hear how you sound.
That's right.
That's
why
the
I call
whole
it
idea
sound
of it.
Yeah, sound system.
Right? So that, in a way, kind of smashed us down. Because before that, we was hiring the halls from the vicar.
Right.
Because our mothers used to go to church. So the vicars were obligated. Yeah, you know, Tony, I keep a birthday. Victor want to keep him birthday. Right? But our birthday is a dance.
Right. Right.
So when the vicar come in the morning now, you see all these drinks and all these tins and
Wow.
food sell off and everybody happy. He said, what was it? Oh, just a party, vicar. Party. Right? So it was a money-making machine.
They never stopped you though.
No, we give him a bottle of whiskey.
All right, cool.
Tell him to go chill out. Right?
Yeah.
But the businessmen
Yeah.
very soon cottoned on that, yo, these people who we shunned and don't want nothing to do with are generating enormous amounts of money. So, you know, I mean, the off-license man, my father used to go there with his money and buy the drinks every week, you know.
Okay.
And one day the off-license man, Mr. Brady from down at Eddie Million Road there, he came to my father and said, listen, don't bring no more money. Just tell me what drinks you want,
Okay.
and I will bring them to the house.
Okay, so things were progressing now.
I mean, every week you're bringing like 500, 1,000 pounds. That's pounds, shillings, and pence.
And this is big money, decent money
Come
back in
on.
that day. That's really good money, yeah?
Big time, that's massive money.
Yeah.
So they say, look, don't worry, bring no more money. Just tell us where you're gonna be playing, and we'll bring all the
And we
drinks
bring
you want.
Yeah, okay.
That's where the sale and return got into action.
All right, so it began like from there.
Yeah, because he wanted your business.
Yes.
He didn't want you to go nowhere.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you could easily go to another off license. So it was all down to money making. They saw that we made money,
Cool.
and everyone was happy. You understand me? So yeah.
We've got 5 minutes away from 8 p.m. We're going to go for the break at 8 o'clock. After the break, we're going to play a song probably you've never, ever, ever heard before, produced and arranged by this man who's in the studio right now, Papa CHARGAN, the original Toaster. Just taking us back to the UK party stroke raving scene of yesteryear. All right, so we've gone through the 60s, the 70s, we've touched up the 80s. Of course, we're going to go more further down into the story just after 8 o'clock. Welcome along if you've just joined us. Victor V here at iLive Radio UK alongside Papa CHARGAN, and of course we're having a chat. CHARGAN, so the blues, we'll get to this later on, but basically you're saying we got what's that word I'm looking for? All right, they came, they saw how happy we was. This is a money-making scheme. What did we do? Did we give it to them? Did we not charge them enough? Did we make a mistake somewhere along the line? Because years later, it's booming business. And some of the people like yourself, and you must know hundreds of other men like you, maybe not getting the recognition or the props that you actually really and truly deserved.
We was tempted by the carrot.
Happens.
They dangle things in front of you.
Happens.
And say, look, come over here with us, and we'll make sure we look after you, and da 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 da. And so we, you know, a lot of people decide, all right, let's try out the clubs and see what happened. And
not altogether a bad move, no?
Well, going into a club, you've lost certain freedoms. You know, you're going to a club. We dress up in our clothes with our hats and how we dress. And now you're going to a club and someone's saying to you, sorry, you can't come in because you got a hat on your head. But we're saying we have a hat on our head 24/7.
True.
And that's how we stay. When we go dance, we have a hat is part of our dress.
Part of the attire.
Everything's a part of our dress. That's how we dress. You understand me?
Yes.
And we started to get refused to go inside of these clubs. You can't bring your sound systems in there because the boxes are too heavy and too big. So now you're playing on a less quality. And people notice the difference because when our sound is playing, our sound sounds sweet. Because the engineers and the people responsible for sound system.
That's their jobs to make sure it sounds.
Yeah, it's utmost. It's utmost. You know, you go into a place and the system is not playing right. You don't want to stay there.
Yeah.
You don't care how good the music is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now these soundmen like Coxon and Tebby, you know, Sir Biggs, they all dealt with quality. They made sure that even if that, you know, a lot of women put a lot of money into sound system.
Okay, that's a story that's not being told really.
Yeah, because we can come, you know, you tell your woman, say, listen, we need to buy a speaker, you know, or we need to fix the amplifier, we need to do something, and the women would always prop us up and give us money and say, go on, do your thing, and when things happen, you understand, because it's an enterprise.
Yes.
You know? So we dealt with quality. In anything that we dealt with, it was always quality.
Quality, yeah.
In the clothes, in the dressing, in the sound system.
And that got taken away a bit.
Yeah, because it got watered down because, you know, like I said, they dangle a carrot in front of you.
Yeah.
Then certain laws started to come in that you can't play loud music, you can't do this, you can't do that.
And we're talking about the 80s, early 80s still.
Yeah, that's when they started to say, well, no, you can't keep your, you know, the next door neighbors complaining, the this, the that, the that. Right. And then all the laws came in that if you make noise, this is going to happen, if you did it. So we're forced now to go into the clubs.
Ladies and gents, please don't move a muscle. We're going to be back shortly with some more stories from the past. iLive Radio, UK.
iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Are you looking for that feel-good music? The kind of music that makes you want to share with your friends? Then you've been looking for iLive Radio, your #1 source for music lovers worldwide, playing a variety of hits from soul, reggae, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, funk, and everything in between. Download the iLive Radio app now and listen to us when you're on the go. Available on iTunes and the Google Play Store. You can also listen live on TuneIn and Alexa. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Ada Divine, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Jana Blackwell, the Mistress of Soul, and you're tuned in to iLive Radio, the home of independent music worldwide. iLive Radio is changing the way you listen to radio.
We are Black Love, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Weather. Happy Friday, everybody. So we have a Met Office weather warning in place for heavy rain and gusts of up to 40 to 45 miles an hour as Storm Alex crosses the south of England. It's going to be dry later, although we're never far away from the risk of another shower at 14 to 16 degrees. Now this evening we've got another weather system brewing. We're going to get further downpours, and then Saturday morning it's going to be really quite very wet. Another blustery day, will dry out in the afternoon, but again could stay very wet. And Sunday is going to be showery on and off. See you tomorrow.
Charlie Jai, and I want you to get amplified with me every Tuesday from 4 until 7 p.m. Raw and unfiltered, but positively focused, bringing you an eclectic mix of all things real and relatable. Hot topics, games, a healthy debate, and lots of laughter. Get amplified every Tuesday on iLive Radio UK, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hip.hop.soul. It's your boy Merch Millions.
It's your girl Jen.
Boy Wonder.
And Amina.
Every Friday, 9 p.m. till midnight. We play soulful hip-hop, neo-soul, alternative hip-hop and R&B.
With exclusive edits and remixes.
Check us out at vibeldn.com. Hip-hop soul radio on iLive UK. Changing the way you listen to radio. Hip-hop soul. Hip-hop soul.
Hip-hop soul.
Hip.hop.soul.
Lightworks with V Swizzle. She's a hip-hop geek influenced by Dilla Beats. Tune into her show each and every Monday, 8 till 10 p.m. on iLive Radio UK, where the vibe is funky, chunky beats interwoven with lost funk hits for sound innovation. This is Lightworks with V Swizzle on iLive Radio UK.
What's good? This is your girl, Drea Ivy, introducing my new show, Ivy Talks, the dopest podcast coming out of the beautiful city that is Miami, Florida, featuring the best artist interviews, covering the illest events in the city as we propel the culture of hip-hop and R&B. Make sure to check out Ivy Talks each and every Monday from 11 p.m. to midnight on iLive UK, changing the way you listen to radio. Let's talk.
Hey, how you doing, guys? This is DJ Magic J with the lovely
Shay
and the one and only DJ Express. Catch us each and every Tuesday night on iLive UK with the show called Who Loves Afrobeats, and we're gonna give you the best flavors in Afrobeat music, entertainment, news from the lovely endurance from Nigeria. So make sure you tune in each and every Tuesday night from the hours of 9 p.m. to
12 a.m.
on iLive UK. Who Loves Afro?
Hi, Victor V here, letting you know that you can join me each and every Friday between 7 and 9 p.m. for some Reggae Motives right here at iLive Radio. We'll be featuring the best in old, new and middle-aged reggae and dancehall with a touch of this and that, and also bringing along some guest DJ sounds and artists to join us from time to time. Reggae Motives, each and every Friday between 7 and 9 p.m. is where we aim to make the music motivate you.
Get my love.
Join the Music Collective family every Sunday for the Sunday Vibe from 12 till 4 on iLive Radio. For the best in quality music, special theme shows quarterly, and the infamous End of the Month show, when the Music Collective family get together for fun and frolics. So don't miss out on your Sunday Vibe on iLive Radio via the TuneIn app or the iLive mobile app. See you Sunday. Music Collective Sunday Vibe on iLive Radio.
We at iLive Radio UK want to hear from you, our loyal listeners. You can get involved by calling us on 0208 638 8503, or you can send a WhatsApp message to 07 564 265 257. Or how about engaging with us via the live chat stream on our website, uk.iliveradio.com. Remember, you can also watch us live via YouTube, Facebook and on Instagram. And if ever you miss a show, you can listen back on Apple and Google Podcasts. It's iLive UK across all platforms. We're changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from around the globe.
You're locked into the right station, the one that supports independent artists and their music. iLive Radio.
The internet's #1 on the World Wide Web. iLive Radio.
Check, check. Welcome back on the other side. We got 6 minutes after 8 p.m. The first Friday inside the month of October 2020. So Chargan, let's carry on. We were speaking before about the sound system, and of course it was in the houses, the blues, the shebeens, and then somebody came along with a great idea and said, hey, this business is booming, let's get involved. And that of course included bringing the parties into clubs, but also we lost something whilst doing that, you were saying.
Yeah, most definitely we did, Victor. Welcome back, iLive, all you wonderful listeners across the globe. Hope you're having yourself a wonderful time. I am CHARGAN the Toaster, here with the great Victor V.
Thank you.
Talking about the sound system. You know, the sound system's it's a great phenomenon in our culture, because it's the passing of information. That's what the sound system is about, passing information. Once it's out of our hands, people will be passing derogatory messages. And we can see it playing out itself today, you know what I mean? So let's get grips to the sound system and get back to culture and get things back to how we want it to be. I mean, I spent a short time with Fat Man Sound System, who I always admired.
Big up Father Fat Man himself.
I've always admired Fat Man Sound. His sound system was always about quality and clarity. And so you can hear every instrument playing.
Right.
And you could even be talking at the same time, but everything was crystal clear and clean. Now, Fat Man used to play in the second Bluesville, which was on White Hart Lane.
Okay.
Because the first Bluesville, I think, was in Holloway Road somewhere, a bit before my time.
Okay.
But the second one was just up the road from me. And I used to go there as a young man, but they wouldn't let me in.
Too young?
No, I couldn't go inside there.
Okay.
The lady who kept it was Rita. She had a record shop up on Stanford Hill. And they would give out lollipops. You know, when you're going, they give you a lollipop.
Okay.
Because obviously, whatever was taking place, they needed to give you a lollipop.
Wow.
So that's all I used to get, is stand up outside there and get a lollipop. And when everyone was gone, I was allowed to go upstairs.
And what was upstairs?
Well, that's where Fat Man Sound was. Duke Reed,
they were upstairs. Okay.
Sir Biggs, Fancer, Count Shelley, all the great sound systems they played there. But I could only go at the end of the dance.
When did you start? When did you join Fat Man? At what stage was that? Just after Unity, of course, yeah?
Yeah, what it is that we took a break from Unity and then we went over to Fat Man. Because Fat Man was releasing records. So
yeah, I remember.
Me and my brother and Higgy Reigen, me, Jack Ruben, CHARGAN and Higgy
Big
Reigen.
up Higgy Reigen, big up.
And one thing I loved about Fat Man is that Fat Man had so many record shops. He had record shops after record shops. He even had a record shop next to Tottenham Police Station, one on West Green Road. He had so many, and I thought that man is really pushing the sound system. The sound system thing.
Definitely.
So we went with a Fat Man and he released a record with us. We done a version of the One Scotch.
Yes, you
One
and
burger, man, one beer.
One brew.
Yeah, but we done one.
Yeah, you, Jack Rubin and Higgy Reigen.
Yeah.
Big UK tune that. I remember that, yes.
And that was produced by Fat Man and played by Tony Scully Cooper from the Instigators.
Yeah.
That's Matthew and Fluxy's band back in the day.
Okay, big up Matthew and Fluxy.
And so we thought it fit to work with Fat Man because Fat Man loved the music. He spent many years in Jamaica cutting dub plates.
Yes.
While there was gunshots firing down at King Tubby's studio.
Never put him off, he was there.
It just proved to me that this man loves the music, so I don't mind doing a little term with Fat Man.
Yeah, of course.
So we worked with Fat Man, we had a grateful time.
Yes.
Then we moved on and my brother and a few others made our own sound system called Turbomatic Tina.
I remember Turbomatic Tina.
Yeah, we made our own sound system because our father called us one day and he said,
they used to play at JC's in Finsbury Park.
on
a Friday night. Yeah.
My father called me one day and he said, hey, you know, I was only put Fat Man box and Surdy's box and everybody box. Why you not build your own sound system? Me put in our money.
Okay, in a light bulb moment. When
Yeah.
All right.
So my father, so we done that.
Yes.
And that ran well for a few years until everyone dispersed. Then we went into a recording. My brother Jack Rubin, he's got his own studio recording.
Yes.
He had a sound system called Prince Hammer.
Okay.
When he was very young. So
Alright.
he's well immersed inside of it, you know what I mean? So yeah, we had a wonderful time.
You see, like a lot of documentaries, films, blogs, what's not. Do you think sometimes they're approaching the right people? Like, you know, there's a vibe of the wrong people are getting the credit. Like, they wasn't there. They were, all right, not everybody is of an age where they could say, yeah, well, I used to lift boxes or...
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if somebody came to me for this story, I'd say, oh, you got to talk to him. You
Yeah.
can't talk to me. I'm not going to try and take that credit. But do you feel like that sometimes, like, they're going to the wrong people? Like, not like you're begging for the credit, but, you know.
But a lot of people, Victor, they get their big up or they get their mention through doing these things. You know what I mean? A lot of newscasters, a lot of, you know, magazine people who write up about these things. That's the way they get their big up, by listening to the information from me and you.
Okay.
Then taking it and putting it out in their version.
Right.
You understand me? We're still grateful for them for trying.
Yes.
But we know the real people.
Yes.
Who are in the thing.
So you
real.
say they're doing it with a good heart.
Yeah.
But it's just not doing the business justice.
No, I mean, most of the people who we brought into the music, because the music promotes us, you know, we don't promote the music.
That's right.
So our name is made because of the music. Them know CHARGAN because of music.
Yes.
And what he does.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Some people try to surpass that and start being, oh, I'm this and that and that. But we know that.
Yeah.
Because we know where it's all coming from. The musicians,
Definitely.
the studios, the singers, the training, the practicing, the whole thing that goes behind it. We know where it's coming from. So, I mean, yeah, good on them for putting in that effort.
Yeah.
Because any music that black man makes is appreciated, loved.
Yes.
From jazz, soul, funk, you name whatever, you know, from the xylophone to the balafone. The balaphone's the original, and they changed it into the xylophone. You understand what I'm saying? But we know where the original thing comes from.
But it would make you happier if everybody else knew where the original thing came from.
Yeah, well, what it is that in talking and speaking, you will find out that person is giving you second-hand news.
Cool.
So you have to you got that information from somewhere else, and you're dispensing it. Now, I know that a lot of people get attached to black music, and it freaks them out because they've never experienced such a thing.
Yeah, the vibe.
I mean, I went to school with some young white boys who were friends of mine, and the first time I brought them to the dance, they thought they was on a different planet. They said, "CHARGAN, what's going on here?"
The energy, the vibes of what were going on.
Yeah,
tell me, what did they say?
They're seeing things in its naturality.
Okay.
Naturally. How it is, that's how it is.
Yes.
We didn't make it up.
Pure, not manufactured.
And they're seeing this thing, and a lot of these young white people who we brought into the dance and into the music have now become the owners of the record companies, the clothing factories, the this and that. They got a great inspiration from us taking them under our wings and showing them, look, well, this is what we do naturally. Now, this is our everyday life for us. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And they was fascinated. So they seem to look at the business side of things. So straight away, someone comes and sees a dance, and he relays it back to his friend. Now his friend's a big company.
Is that's not a bad thing?
No, because you've got companies like Celestian, Sony, Goodman's, Pioneer, Techniques. You look in your house, all that equipment that's in there is spawned off of black man's music.
Okay.
Every bit of equipment. Even though Marconi is credited with making the radio and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the equipment is used to amplify the sound. The sound came from what we was doing in America, in Africa, in the Caribbean. Right? And so it all developed from there. So all these companies, they are now multinational companies that earn millions and billions of pounds off of our work.
are we not getting a slice of the cake? Do you feel that sometimes, you personally?
Well, put it this way.
And if we're not, is that who's to blame, if that's the right word?
What it is, the way how the system is set up, the system is set up like this, that they've got their companies and they set their system up of you.
Okay.
Oh, you want Clark shoes?
Right.
All right, we'll make 1 million Clark shoes and sell it to you.
Okay.
You want amplifiers? We're going to make the amplifiers and sell it to you. I mean, Sugar, what's his name? The guy who does he's got
Alan
a thing
Sugar.
with Alan Sugar. Alan Sugar used to work in Ridley Road. Ridley Road used to have a shop where we used to bring our amplifiers to them.
Ridley
to
Road,
fix.
Hackney, Boston, yeah.
We used to bring our stuff there for them to repair and fix. And that's how they made Amstrad amplifiers, off of our circuit boards and what we done. You understand me? So everything is copied from us and turned into business. You know, if they put the camera on us, we become the business.
Okay.
If we're playing our sound, we become the business. You understand me? So they set up the business off of us. All the speakers from Celestian, Goodman's, Fame, Tannoy, all these great companies.
Marshall?
Yeah, if you ask them, where did they amass their wealth? They would say we're from the black communities. They was the only people who was buying 15-inch speakers and 18-inch speakers. Because when my parents came to England, they was just using 10-inch speakers. That was it.
Okay.
But we wanted a bigger speaker to hold the bass note.
Right.
You know, because our bass line was big and heavy and that drew the attraction. So they made those speakers for us.
The sound systems.
Yeah.
Can you pause a minute? Can we big up some of those sound systems right now?
Wait up, John. Sound system, and up the sound system, rhythm, sound system, and up the sound
iLive
system.
Radio.
You answered it, Batman and Jaja, Lord Coos, Lord David, and my one bassa. Quaker City, Duke, Alliance, Christopher. Metro down, Big Duke, Bin and Jazz Sufferer. Falcon, Sir Jesus, and the one Gemini. Count Shelly, Count John, Count Rob, and Count Lee. Sir Biggs, Count Tone, and Soprano B. Upsetter, Dubsetter, and Marvelous. King Original, Frontline, and the Taros. Count Suckle, Rocket, and the one-leg giant. Observe at the puppies and King Tubbies. Leveling chant, and we make the people feel so pleased. Spirit out in and the banners and the bun and the cheese. Oh yes, says the moonshot and Phoebe. Cause now request Lion and QB. Roseville clock, tower, me say out and top of stock. Anywhere cock, some plate was a living roadblock. Best us to fling the dub to make your body get hard. Frontline King, Tropical and the unit. Serograph was a sound that me never want miss. Hear the bass line a thump and the treble it a hiss. If you don't know about sound system, you get dismissed. CHARGAN him a talk and everything crisp. Well, me have more sound systems span me list. Never teach you the tip and sell that power. One love count, Tom and Jawan Slipper. You greedy Eastman and King Zion. People sound come, sucker black star liner. Channel 1, page 1, revolutionaries. The almighty quadrophonic and super earrings. Count, rent the clock up tempo and the white tea. CHARGAN and ribs and the 130s. Come together and them build unity. Fans out to Queen and Lord Emperor. Saxon, Viking and Nuclear Java. Young Lions, Capayan and Gandon Rocker. Sir Riley, Sir Marcus and Sabrina. Intrepid Rebel, Surgeon Sledgehammer. Matador, King Edwards and NTB. Small Axe, Sovereign and the One Diamond. Well, those were the days when we right versions. From 7 to 11 was the early session. We used to load up the box, them one by one. No matter drop the amplifier from out of your hand. Echo chamber, reverb and microphone stand. Turntable piece of sponge on the record box. 7 inches of plates and LB tracks. 12 inch, 10 inch and the living black wax. Them the timer on the dances, them coulda never stop. We are rum it from the basement unto the house top. We never look for no watch, we never look for no clock. We just a dance and a dance, everybody get hot. Well, the woman in a skirt, in a blouse and in a frock. Them a listen to the toaster and the MC them a chat. Up-row, shorties, cane rows and flats. Can't forget the pretty woman who a wear all tobacco. Well, on the reggae sound system.
Make them run, come.
Mandela sound system.
CHARGAN can't done.
Jungle Man, Federal and
Nasty Rockers.
Super Tone, Black Chalice and Freddy Cloudburst. Hawkeye, Heavyweight and Iron Bird. Admiral Ken Surfrey and Paddington Terror. Sir John Dice, Spy and Lord Creation.
iLive Radio.
Chicken and Mafia Town. Count Wallace Arena.
Entertainer.
When you find me MC
Supermodeler.
Them time we used to get
The sweetest ganja.
on the BOAC.
Coming from Jamaica.
Remand out the road used to
Turn hustler.
Coulda buy a little small drop.
Be a fiver.
City Dread, Prince Melody and Nasty Love. Seven Seals, Sir Collins and Papa Love. Lord Barron, Joshua,
Wisdom Hardcore.
Exodus, Quantro and Youth Sam
Zion.
Maverick, First Choice.
Now generation.
Romantic Bubblers
And new success. Volcano me sound from over northwest.
Well over house, then I went Trojan sound rest. We ain't no discotheque,
But we will send our request.
inna your shoes, inna your shorts, inna your shirt, inna your vest, inna your trilby, inna your crumbie, inna your crisp,
Double breast.
inna your beaver with your rings and then the
Chains round your neck.
Everybody in the world said them up to
Confess.
Reggae man and woman,
Them was the really best dress.
everywhere in the world sound system.
I manifest.
Japan, Europe,
And out of Budapest.
reggae music is the play.
In the House of Congress.
Crusader, I just and Rootsman, Revelation, Exterminator, Jammer, and Stone Lion, Atomic Count, Salmon, Skylar, King Alpha, Lord, White Alpha,
And Bismarck.
Graphics International, Sir Wax,
Some merit to a charge and bad no raw. Wanna leave him alone.
Me, I wanna wait, count, and
Nobody can clone.
Sir Light of Injection, and Duke Murray.
Just another set of lyrics coming in a hurry.
Count Danny, Sir Higgins, and King Salaman, Prince Full and King Alpha, and Mighty Prophet, Nationwide Hustle Tone,
And Sir Fly.
Count Spinner, Sir Wayne, and Natural Progress, Wamora, Papa Charge, and
Yes.
Papa Dine, Tone El Paso,
And the Casanova.
Black Terror, Black Scorpion, Reno Side
Power.
Silver Tone, Launch, Rally, Duke, Sunday, Black Heart, King B, Sir Ryan, Christos, and
Tiffany.
Sir Noel, Sir Kennedy, Rasta,
Ruben.
when me go a gangsta, no
Serving no one again.
down a case credit.
Me never beg no friend.
All a dance,
A ball am 200. Charge and a drum box a bag and natty dread. You find me in the bull ring.
Blue Lagoon, Trade Island,
Coliseum.
all nation planaries and
Richmond Road.
down a People's Club.
Another morning raid them find ganja. Some guns and some blade.
Big Shepherd, Trojan, Link House,
Youth Club.
Upper Woodgreen.
I when me first fall in love.
Those are the days
Of the real rubber dub.
never going on a dirty wall.
Thinking for me I rename this rhythm and a woman in a sound system. I love the sound system. Sound system, I love the sound system.
Wow, Papa CHARGAN, you love sound system. Bad.
And those are just the English ones.
Those are just, was that about 115 names?
Around about that, and I've got part 2 coming as well. There's going to be more.
Education.
Yeah, there's more. I mean, every road you went on inside of London, there was a sound system.
Right.
Be it big or small, a man had his little records. He had his amplifier. He played at weddings, christenings, and spent a vast amount of money. What I'm driving at, what I'm driving at is the amount of millions and billions we spent
Definitely.
with these companies like Celestian, Goodman's, and all these big companies.
Definitely.
The names are endless, and they know who they are. Now we need them to come back down into the areas what they say are ghetto and can't deal with, and put something back in the area.
They've been proven wrong now. This is big business, dancehall, reggae roots, everything like that. The whole genre is very huge.
But mainly, Victor, they're meant to come back in the area and put something there.
Yeah.
To develop the youngsters.
Yes.
You know, because they love music.
Yeah.
Their parents have invested in the music.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing in the so-called inner cities for us down here. I mean, all the record labels, all these people should make sure that there's something down there where we can go to, have access to.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's just ridiculous that they don't come back down in the so-called ghetto.
Yeah.
Oh, they're bad areas.
Stories like yours hasn't been heard you know, a lot of those guys doing that nowadays are not exactly too seasoned in it. So maybe they need some more depth. They need to hear some more depth of the story or the beginnings, origins, like what you're doing now, for them to maybe say, oh, let me find CHARGAN. Because not like you're old, you know, but you can show them the way. There's plenty of people like you.
I mean,
north, south, east, west, out of London. There's how many soundmen are there?
There's millions.
Exactly.
What it is that we've created a vast employment. Vast employment we've created through our music and what we do.
Yeah.
All the amplifiers and all that, someone had to make it. The turntables, someone's got to make it, and they're all big, massive companies.
How do you see, when you hear sounds from Germany, Poland, Italy, China, Japan, is that a good thing?
Well, what it is, like I said to you earlier on, anything that the black man and woman do, right? And it's not a racist thing or nothing.
Of course not.
You know, against this or that. People appreciate, love it, and they want to come towards it. But what happens is that most of them, they find the business side of it and do business.
Right.
We do the practical, the workings of it. This is how it goes. This is how you play the record. This is how we want it to sound.
We have the ability to do the business side of it, though, right?
Well, the business side is often a closed shop.
Right.
It is a closed shop.
Okay.
You know, like, you know, my mother worked in King's Cross for many years. And automatically, if you work there for 20 years, you're supposed to get a higher position.
Yes.
And this never happens. You understand when they get excuses, this, that.
Definitely.
So it's the same thing with this old, well, you guys are good at playing the music.
Okay.
But we will do the business.
Right.
Okay? We do the business and we'll pay you.
So obviously that needs to change sometime very soon, yeah?
Well, we'll never get nowhere because we'll always be on the same platform. We've got all the ideas, but our ideas are bought off of us.
Okay.
We're never in the position to develop our things. Like, we know how we want the sound to sound. We know what should be here or there and this and that. But it's bought off of us. Our knowledge is bought off of us. And then we in turn have to turn around and buy the same equipment that we invented. I mean, all these mixing boards that you see, they're all off of the sound system preamp.
Okay.
Because we wanted to draw the best quality out of the music. So we made our preamps a certain way so we could play any music, even if the music is scratched up.
It doesn't matter. The preamp's going to make it sound tip-top.
And that's what the mixing board is nowadays.
Okay.
The mixing board is made up of that. Because our hearing, we know what a drum sound sounds like. We know what a guitar sounds like. We know what we want it to sound like.
The contribution is huge and undocumented, it sounds like. Just by going what you're telling me this evening, the contribution from your era till now is very huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's ginormous, right? And a lot of people have lived and passed away without the recognition.
Absolutely.
And the wealth.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? But we're not bitter about it. But we need these big companies to address the situation. That's what we need. We need to, you know.
So we need people like you leading the charge.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I'm making a documentary with a view to make a film about sound systems.
Good.
And I need a lot of help from the public. I can't do it by myself. So you can contact Victor V if you can have an input. We want actors.
Definitely.
You know, we want people who can do makeup.
How can they catch you on social media? You're on Facebook, right?
I'm on Facebook as Royston Osborne, Osbourne. You know, and we want to make the documentary and the film with the real people. A lot of the footage is impossible to have because in those days, no one couldn't come there with a camera and film us. No one couldn't come there, and get any information from us. But we have all the information about those things, what was happening then.
And that's good enough.
Right? So we don't need to be giving you second-hand information. We're going to make our documentaries. We're going to make our films about how it was.
5 years ago, Black History Month, 2015, you was actually doing a series of black films, wasn't you? You was actually hosting them in Orleans Night Spot, if I remember correctly.
In Orleans Night Spot,
you was
that was a feature colleague of mine.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I know you was heavily involved, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
So like, I know it's nothing new you're speaking about. You've had this doing for a few years now.
Yeah,
So,
we've been gathering the information for years, but all I hear from people is, can you get footage?
Right.
No, there is no footage, because
Right.
at those times you was not allowed to come in the dance with a camera.
And I remember, look, we started this conversation from 62, 70s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there was no camera.
No,
footage.
you could. We could.
Yeah.
You didn't allow that. You understand?
Yeah,
me? So
yeah.
there's no. So we have to recreate the scenes.
Yeah.
Now, who has got the scenes in their head? Me and you.
Yes.
We know exactly what a dance looked like, how
Yeah.
it started, how it finished,
Definitely.
and what took place in between. So we're going to all come together. All these sound systems you hear I'm mentioning.
Yeah.
We're forming the Sound System League. Right? You know, like a FIFA.
Great.
But it'll be a Sound System FIFA.
Cool.
So even if the person's dead or alive,
yeah,
their sound is still
they're included.
alive.
It's good.
I mean, if Tottenham and Arsenal, doesn't matter who's the manager, they're still
Carries
Tottenham and
on.
Arsenal. So I'm urging those sound systems out there to keep your name alive.
Good.
Even if you make your grandchild go play a 2 record under your name, but keep
absolutely.
it alive. And
Yes.
that's my job and my duty.
Nice one.
So we've built a website called www.reggae-exports.com, where you can go on there on our Facebooks and see the work what we're doing. And we want to develop the work, so we need help from graphic designers, we need photographers, we need people who can do videos, we need filmmakers in our community
All
to help
age
us.
groups inclusive, right across the board.
Yeah.
Good.
We have to work together.
Get involved, people, please.
Yeah, you know, you can contact me direct if you want on 07 999 089 425.
Or just get in touch with the internet's baddest radio station, iLive Radio UK. We're up inside Reggae Motives. Yours truly, Victor V, with the original toaster and more. You got a whole heap of titles, Chargan. Yeah, we're rolling until 9 o'clock this evening, having a chat and, of course, releasing some information, education, and what's not. So the future looks all right. I like that film idea. And you was also involved in the Sound System Awards for a few years. How did that go? What was that about?
Well, what I done, I actually created the Sound System Awards to award every sound system for their great work over the years, and their efforts and their spending power.
Yeah.
For recognition. So I don't care how big or small your sound system is, we're going to give you an award.
Nice.
Now, due to what's going on now, we have to put it on hold, but we're still going to have the awards ceremony. Be it online or be it out in the open, but it's going to take place. You know? I'd like to send a big shout out to one of our pioneers on the radio, Steve Barnard. Are you familiar with him?
LWR, man?
No, he's one of the very first ones on BBC
to
play reggae.
What year was that?
Steve Barnard. You're going back when I was a little young boy.
Okay.
You understand me?
Right.
Steve Barnard was the original reggae DJ on BBC Radio.
So he was the only one as well then?
Yeah.
Obviously
so
before Capital Radio times.
Yeah.
Tony
Before
Williams,
all of
yeah.
that, all of that. Yeah,
all right.
Steve Barnard. Remember that name?
Yeah.
Look it up on the internet. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he's part of the structure as well.
Great.
So, you know, all the people listening to iLive UK Radio, if you know someone who could help us to come together and make this come into reality, to portray our life in England over the past 60 years. Because, like Victor said, it's been undocumented. And what has been documented is not documented by the real people.
That's right.
We're not fighting against no one who's doing it.
No.
Because, you know, anything that we do as black people will always be copied and always be followed, and that's natural. You understand me? So we love those other nations who come into our thing and help us and, you know, let people know about our thing.
Nice.
But we as a people have to come together now and portray ourselves, which will be a wonderful thing for our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Generations in the future, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, seriously.
What's the future plan then, apart from that, Chargy? What's the, apart from resuming the Sound System Awards, of course the film documentaries in the pipeline. What's your big wish in the future? What would you like to see? If you could point to one thing and say, look, in the next 10 years' time, I'd like to see this happen. Because remember where you're coming from right at the beginning. To now, so you've got a good view of everything. This music movement should be where in 5 or 10 years' time.
Yeah, I'd love to see everyone on the same platform. No, because you've got money, you can do this and do that. All the talents should be on the same platform and dispensed to everyone. So, you know, that's how the community grows. Everyone's got an equal, you know, you can do DJ and I could do toasting.
Someone could do graphics.
Someone could do this and that. And we come together and create the things what they call a dream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know, so, you know, for the future, I just want people to come together. I want the youngsters to understand that we know you love your telephone. You know, my granddaughters, they spend half of their time on their telephones.
Who doesn't? And the adults.
Right?
Yeah, so you say, come off the phone for a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, and the parents, you know, stop them from using it sometimes and let us have one common aim to portray our arts and our culture and our roots.
Yes.
You understand me? Because, you know, we sit down in front of the television watching other people's culture and roots, which is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've got to show them our roots and culture and where we came from and where we want to head to. So each one teach one. We've got to gather together. So it's an ideal opportunity. All nations can come in. We don't discriminate against no one.
Great.
But we're going to make our film, our documentaries. We're going to tell it how it is.
Yes.
And, you know, develop it from there into jobs. Because this develops into jobs. You can have filmmakers.
Yeah. Well, you've seen that happen before, haven't you?
Yeah, everything develops into a job. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Definitely.
And that's what we're aiming. You know, I've got you know, lyrics. We could teach you how to write lyrics.
Yeah.
We could teach you how to play instruments. We could, you know, we've got a load of teachers, and we want more and more people to come in together. So if you can contact iLive, Victor V, and, you know, just be part of the sound system movement, because the sound system doesn't just mean sound system.
No, yeah, more. There's
it's
more
than
to
that.
Yeah,
it's more than that. It's an actual life and living.
Definitely.
Our liberty. Because this is what we love, the arts and the culture.
Definitely.
You know?
Have you ever not been to a dance for this long amount of time? Look, I haven't been to a dance since March the 23rd. I don't imagine you've ever had a 6 month or 5 months gap.
With me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah, definitely. Nah, you pop your head in now and then somewhere. If it's not West Indian, it's over there or down there.
I've got withdrawal symptoms, man. Kind of see I'm dancing in the chair now, man. Anywhere I go, I'm still moving.
Remember, we was meant to play that song and pause it a few times, but yeah, you found yourself DJing along to it. Like yeah. Okay.
Yes, an inspiration for me to mention
Definitely.
these sound system names, because these people were great men and women.
Yeah.
Don't forget the women them in the sound system.
Yeah, the contribution.
Right.
That's a good point you made earlier on. It's a real good point.
Yeah, I mean, we love it. We love it. We love it, and we love them. So, you know, we're gonna give them their accolade. I mean, back in the day, no one was giving us no accolades. So we had to call ourselves Sir D's.
Yes,
we
Sir Biggs.
We had to knight ourselves.
Yes, Admiral Ken.
Right.
And the list, I get you.
Jah Almighty, we gave ourselves titles, which was deserved titles, because we was dealing with the community.
Putting in the works.
You know, Emperor this, Emperor Fate, Emperor, you know, we gave ourselves all the names. You understand me? Because we wasn't recognized, no one cared about us, but we dealt with ourselves.
But you know that you are huge. You might not know that, but you know that you're huge out here.
Well,
and often
I hope I am.
You and the U-Roys are not very modest. Like, you think it's nothing. Like, you just get on the bus or on the train or drive your Rolls Royce if you feel like on a Sunday. But no, people know. People definitely know. Yeah, but I think there's more that need to know. That's what.
Yeah, it's a great feeling to know that, you know, you're loved by people you can't see.
I'm glad that you came inside the studios this evening. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's priceless. Black History Month. I know it's Black History all the time for you, Charging, but what do you make of the slogan Black History Month? Is it good to celebrate it for 1 month? It's not doing no harm, is it?
Well,
I mean,
basically, it's
we
a
talk
start.
about Black History all the time, but yeah, they're acknowledging, 4 weeks, celebrate black culture and black history. What's your views on that?
Well, what is everything as a start? And if that's the way that they're going to start it with us, so be it. But we also have to take the responsibility of non-stop educating our children about our culture.
I like that one. What do you call it? Educating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're in the higher regions of the brain, you know?
Cool. Nice one. Yes. I'm going with that. I'll go with that.
So what we have to do is that, we welcome any contribution anyone has got to uplift our nation.
Cool.
You know, we're not going to fight against them and say we don't want you in here and come out and no, let them be. But we also have to put our thing together and let the world know, so well, we don't wait on people to do things for us.
Yes.
We have the ability to do it ourselves. We know the stumbling blocks.
Yes.
You know, we've come a long way now over the years. You know, the journey of the black people has been a long, long journey. Struggles, hardships, this and that. There's still some things we need to correct, and also other people need to correct.
Definitely.
But at least we're making some progress.
Are you satisfied with the amount of progress? All right, there could be more, but are you satisfied with how it is right now? Is enough progress for you?
Well, they've got a saying that says, from Jamaica, that nothing is never done before the time.
Yes. Yes.
So sometimes you want something to happen straight away, and it doesn't, and it frustrates you.
Definitely.
But as long as it's on its journey towards where it's got to get to, that's the main thing. I mean, the projects I'm doing, it's not me. It's all of you who are listening. It's not me alone. It's not CHARGAN's project. It's Victor V's project. It's iLive UK radio project.
Yes.
It's all of us together. We can control our own reggae wood, Nollywood, Hollywood.
Yes.
We can make our own thing without offending anybody.
But do we need funding from other sources in this day and age? Is it, I say that because look at the World Cup clashes, how it was back in the days compared to where it went recently. Like big companies like Red Bull are getting involved in the format, in the style, in the fun of it, the culture, the excitement. Is that a good thing, or keep over there, please? We'll do with it ourselves, or is it,
What it is that we have to form our own FIFA. It's very simple. We need accountants, we need bookwork people, we need people who can research on the outer net.
Okay.
We need all these people, and we start our own. That means we have our sound system league, we have everything that we need to develop our children. You understand me? I mean, there will always be people doing things off of our back. That's
standard.
natural.
Yeah.
That's natural. And I say to them, good on you.
Okay.
Thank you for promoting the work.
Cool.
You understand me? Because we're not going to stop until we have our own. You know what I mean? We're gonna get together somehow or some way.
But we will do it. We'll get
and
there.
we control our things. You understand me? So the way forward is for everyone to really take time out and say, what can I do to help this effort?
Right.
That's what it is. What can I do to help this effort?
Right.
Could I go on the telephone? Could I go on Facebook? What can I do to help us get this thing together that we have control of? Because it's all about teaching, and it's a teaching that we're dealing with.
Yes.
Sound system is a teaching. When I listen to music, music teaches me something. So the next day now I get up and say, that song what that man was singing, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and do that what they're saying and thing. So music is a vast influence.
When did you realize you was influencing back in the day? What was there a moment you said, wow, everyone knows me now? Apart from just in your area, which happens with everybody, first you're local, but you got very big. So when did it hit you that you know what, everyone's listening to me now.
Well, it's vital what you say because it's the word. So when you realize that, oh, you've got a big listenership, then you start pulling yourself back. Because...
Meaning
that you have to be careful of what you're saying now.
Okay.
And you have to know what you're saying.
Yes.
You understand me? Because what you're saying is the difference between life and death.
Yeah. Because you've got the influence now, right?
Right.
And you was aware of that.
Yeah, I was aware of that.
Good.
You understand me?
Good.
On the sound systems, I was aware. Saying, listen, this, even though there's 500 people in the dance, when this cassette goes around the world, I mean, Stone Love came to England. And Rory, who was playing Stone Love sound system from Jamaica, when he came to England, he was surprised in the 80s to see so many people come to the dance.
Wow.
And the reason why there were so many people, that when we got a cassette from Stone Love Sound, we would run off a cassette. I'll give one to Victor.
Yeah.
Victor would run it up and give
Yes.
it to Jan.
This was back
Jan
in the
would
days.
run it off
yes.
and give it to Cynthia. Cynthia run it off and give it to Paulette up at Birmingham. Paulette run it off
Yeah.
and give it to June up in Scotland. And by the time you know, everyone's hearing Stone Love Sound.
Yes.
So
And that works for the UK sounds, and they were listening to the UK.
All the sounds in Europe, right? They have been listening to the UK sound systems for years.
And the sounds in Jamaica.
Listening to Jashaka.
Yeah.
Listening to all of them. Because, you know, in England, the music that was played in England wasn't played anywhere else.
Right.
Because we had the freedom to play music. And what happened is that, you know, in the Caribbean, because of political reasons, a lot of songs were not played down there.
Okay.
I mean, Bunny Lee, the great producer from Jamaica.
Yes.
When I used to work in Count Shelley's record shop, Bunny Lee used to come over with the tapes. He'd finish doing his mixing in Jamaica and catch the next plane to England. And he'd bring all that music over here that's never been played in Jamaica.
Okay. Yeah, because they often say London or England's the capital of reggae.
No, definitely.
Okay.
And soul and all those musics as well.
Okay.
If it wasn't tested in England, it never had no value.
So back to Rory coming over here, or Stone Love, sorry.
Yeah.
They were surprised that so many people turned out to the dance and knew of them, yeah?
His eyes popped out of his head. Right? So this is the power of the music.
Yeah.
Now, England had 30, 40, 50 years of music.
Mm-hmm.
Now the power has moved away to all the other countries. You go to Brazil, reggae's going crazy.
Yes.
You go to Europe, the European guys over there, they don't want football. They want a dub plate.
Yeah.
They want a 45. They want to build a sound system. And they want to go on like Metro Media and jump up and down on stage. And
you're right.
they want to chat patois.
Yes.
And they want to be immersed in this thing. They've got their own sounds. They've got their record labels. They're flying down to the Caribbean, recording all the artists from all the islands.
Definitely.
They're doing everything like what we used to do many years ago, but they've taken it as a business.
A business, yeah.
A big business. They realize how big the business is. And they're fully immersed in it. So it's us now to reach up to that level of business. We have to reach up to that level. That means that we have to join together, whether we want to or not.
It seems like we took it for granted. Is that the right word? Is that not like we haven't got the ability to take it for the business, for a business and what's not, but maybe we just thought it as fun, happiness. It's a release. Whenever everyone saw it as they've got a gold mine over there.
Well, it was a natural part of our life. I mean, coming from Africa, as Africans, we'll use those words, even though I'm a bit dubious about those words, but we'll use them. Africans, right?
Yeah.
In our villages, we had song, we had dance.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's right. From creation, more or less.
Yes, that's
for
us. That's what we've always had.
That's what we do, yeah.
It's nothing new to us.
The woman was always dancing and winding up, and that's
You ever see 300 women a dance together? 400 men a dance together and a beat drum? That was us. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You understand me? We had our rituals, our parties, our this, our that, our that.
Yeah.
If someone was born, we'd have a drum beat for that. Someone passed away, we'd have a drum beat for that.
Yeah.
So we've got beats all over from the diaspora, from Africa, that people don't even realize where those beats come from. The beats, the rumba, the samba in Brazil, it's all from the culture, the African culture. Every beat that you hear is from the African culture.
Wow.
You know, the reggae is from the African culture, right? It's the message in the music that the reggae has taken on the messenger part of the music.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So, you know, it's just beautiful for me to be here in iLive Radio.
Always supporting independent artists. iLive Radio UK. Big up yourself, Papa CHARGAN. We're going to have to do another part, and the time flew. And half of the story hasn't been told. 8 minutes and counting.
So you could
We're
play
good
the
to
rest,
go.
So you could play the rest
We
of the
did,
song.
but we did play it. We played it. We played it for about, there was about 6, no. About under a minute left. Do you want to, all right, I'm going to try and find that back. But before we do disappear,
Okay.
your artist of today, your artist back then, you was inspired by Prince Jazzbo, U-Roy and the likes of that.
U-Roy, Dillinger, Trinity.
Who are you happy with in the last 5 years, from 2015 to 2020? Who impresses you?
Impresses me. It's difficult to impress me, you know.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Now, what it is that I take a little bit from everyone.
Cool.
Everyone's got a little bit.
Yeah.
That inspires you and uplifts you. You know, the new wave MCs and toasters.
You'd name who?
Well, you know, a lot of people say, you know, Vibes Cartel, he's a great inspiration as well. Because he's keeping the men and women going, you know, and Beanie Man's keeping us laughing. And
I know you're a Chronix fan, definitely.
Well, Chronix is a phenomenon himself, and you know, he's a cool character. He's bringing us music that's nice and easy to listen to, and the message is there also.
Nice one.
You know, there's so many of them out there now.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just hard to pinpoint any one of them, but I take a message from all of them. I listen to all of them.
Yeah, I bet you do.
And I take
something from
What our parents used to say is that you pick sense out of nonsense.
We love the sound system. That's why we are here at iLive Radio UK this Friday evening. When are we releasing this song, Chargy?
Well, my promotional team at www.reggae-exports.com are anticipating shooting a short film, a documentary, with all the sound system personnel in it.
Yes.
Everyone I'm mentioning here
good.
has to be in that video and that film. So we're looking at next year.
Okay, good.
Around August time, possibly, when the weather gets nice in England. And I've done this one for the United Kingdom sound systems.
Yeah, I heard.
I've also got...
before you say I've also got... I never heard about 50 of these names. I know about 50 of them.
Yeah.
And there's about 50 I never knew. So this is my song right now.
Yeah.
This is my song right now. Perfect.
Yeah, we're going to keep up part 1 and part 2 like a book. We're going to carry on. I mean, we're doing a documentary about the turntable, a documentary about the amplifiers, a 13-part series with the view to do a film about the sound system.
Interesting, yes, please.
So I just need all the listeners on iLive UK Radio to rope in with us and help us to make this into reality.
Yeah.
And we love your station. We love the work you're doing in the community. And please just keep it up, and each one teach one.
Definitely.
Axel, Viking and Nuclear Java, Young Lions, Capayan and Jamdon Rocker, Sir Riley, Sir Marcus and Sabrina, Intrepid Rebel, Sir John Sledgehammer, Matador, King Edwards and
iLive UK, great radio.
Well, those were the days when we arrived versions. From 7 to 11 was the earliest session. We used to load up the box, them one by one. Nobody drop the amplifier, promote your hand.
Anyone you need to big up and gonna big up before you exit the building, CHARGAN. Papa CHARGAN, the original toaster, the Mr. Foundation, the veteran, Mr. Day One.
Like to big up my mother and my father, big up my sister and my brother, big up iLive UK and Victor. When it comes to lyrics, you know we are teacher. Big up all the DJs on iLive UK, all the listeners across the globe.
Big up the Toronto and the Canada family, also over there promoting and broadcasting from iLive UK.
I'd like to big up Dennis Rowe from Saxon Original Sound.
Big up Dennis.
And he's got something called a Tumbi, which is a good cleanser. Type it in your, what you call it there, your laptop.
The browser there, yeah. What's it called?
It's a Tumbi. It's a colon cleanser. They're a black company called www.osanian. But if you type in Atumbi, ATUNBI, you will see this wonderful product that cleans the colon, cleans up the blood, makes you feel young again.
Great.
Check it out, iLive listeners.
Great stuff.
Wisdom hardcore, youths of Zion, now generation, and new success from out and northwest. Can sound rest, but we will send our request in your shoes, in your shorts, in your jacket, and your vest, and your crisp double breast, chains round your neck. Them a fi confess, them a the really best dress. I manifest, and out of Budapest, in the House of Congress. Jamasigan,
what's the name of this song? What's the name of this song, CHARGAN? What's the actual name of the song so they can go and seek and try and find?
Well, it's called Sound System. Me love the sound system.
Say no more. I'll give them more details when you allow me to tell them, alright?
Yeah, no problem. They can contact me on 07999 089425.
iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from around the globe.
You better believe it.
Big up yourself, Victor V.
Thank you, sir.
We know you from your young boy. I come and dance, you know.
Well, it's going to be years before I get in your hot chair, yeah? No one wants to speak to me.
No, you've got a massive history as well.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I remember Prince Park Day.
Respect. Stand by for the Hip Hop Soul Show. Merch Millions, Boy Wonder, Lady Amira. Long time no see. They should be up just after 9 o'clock this evening. Papa CHARGAN, quickly, any final words? It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you for your time in these times especially.
Well, I'd like to first really thank iLive UK for having me on their great radio station. Also you, Victor V. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Are you looking for that feel-good music? The kind of music that makes you want to share with your friends? Then you've been looking for iLive Radio, your #1 source for music lovers worldwide, playing a variety of hits from soul, reggae, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, funk, and everything in between. Download the iLive Radio app now and listen to us when you're on the go. Available on iTunes and the Google Play Store. You can also listen live on TuneIn and Alexa. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Tiffany Michelle from Austin, Texas, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Peace, world. This is J Soul, a.k.a. the Black Sinatra, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Gina P, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.